So if we want to sound more British, we want to sound clearer, we want to sound good when we speak English, especially if we're learning British English, we need to first learn how to be lazy. So, those of you who've been following me for a while, you would know that I am a pronunciation teacher. And one of the most common questions I receive from everyone, people taking my pronunciation course, people who are subscribed to this channel, people are always asking me about the schwa sound. Now, I have made a video about the schwa sound before. You can go and watch that first if you don't know how to pronounce it or how to do it. In case you don't want to watch that video, we pronounce the schwa sound when we have weak words in a sentence. For example, a word like for can often become f. What did you do for Christmas? F. Okay? It can also happen at the end of words which finish with So for example, teacher would be pronounced as teacher. So it's an sound. But the one that we're learning about today is probably one of the most difficult and most important situations, which is when the schwa sound happens in a weak syllable in a word. British people use the schwa everywhere. It's the most common sound in British English. And we need it. We need to learn how to add this lazy sound into our spoken English to sound more fluent and more like a native. So firstly, just so we understand why we use the schwa sound. And this is my favourite sound in English. It's my favourite sound to teach because it's so easy to teach. But, it is a little bit difficult because we don't always know when it's going to happen. It happens in an unstressed syllable, a weak, unstressed syllable. So for example, when we have the word about, the stress is on the second syllable, bout. I'm saying it strong, my pitch is going up, and it's becoming a little bit longer. Well, what about that letter A at the beginning? I'm not saying about, and no British people will say about. We'll always say it as And remember, it's not stressed, it's a weak syllable. So we still need to keep it relaxed. About. You should notice that more power is going into the bout, and the is just there to help you carry the word. This happens in lots and lots of different words. Now, just very quickly, to pronounce the schwa sound, the tongue should be relaxed in the middle of the mouth. Just floating, relaxed in the middle of the mouth, and we just open our mouth like we're breathing. Now practice that word with me. About. So yes, it can replace every vowel in English. It can replace every vowel in English, but not always. So this is why it's important to always have a dictionary with you which can show you how to pronounce the words you're learning. Let's just take a look at a few more words which have the schwa replacing the letter A in a weak syllable. Amazing. So the stress is on may, and at the beginning we have amazing, away, alone. And let's try one where it's in the middle of a word, vitamin. So the stress in the word vitamin is on vi. And we have this weak syllable in the middle of the word where the A is. We're going to replace it with a schwa sound, vitamin. The reason we do this, number one, I think it's because British speakers are a little bit lazy, but this is the way to pronounce it. This is the way that we're supposed to pronounce it. An American would say vitamin, and the same in Australia also. So what we always need to remember is that these words have a stressed syllable. So sometimes, not always, the vowel in a weak syllable in a word can be relaxed and become But we have to know when. We just have to listen to people and kind of just hear it and understand when it happens. We can't just decide, I'm going to put a schwa in this word. It doesn't work like that, unfortunately. We just have to practice from listening and reading the dictionary. So now let's try some words where the schwa replaces the letter E. Present. So the stress is on pre. We finish with zunt, z. Present. This one's a little bit tricky because there are a lot of syllables in this word. Experiment. Schwa is at the end. Munt. Experiment. Now always remember that schwa is not in a stressed syllable, so we say it fast, we say it relaxed. Tongue is just chilling, it's just relaxing in the middle of the mouth. We don't need to do much to pronounce the schwa sound. Confident. Confident. Celebrate. 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 Now sometimes with the letter I, it has a regional variation. But if you look it up in the Cambridge Dictionary, the pronunciation of cousin would be with an Cousin. 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 Remember that stress is on the first syllable, so it's stronger, more power on that first syllable. Cousin. Cousin. And of course, it can also happen with the letter O. The word occur. Occur. Now this one's also tricky because lots of people have problems with that final sound. It's actually a very similar position to where we put the tongue for the schwa, and the mouth position is also very similar, but it's longer. So occur. What about the word continue? So we've got the schwa in the first syllable, continue. Big word coming up now, collaborate. We have two schwas here, so this is a great way to practice it. Collaborate. Collaborate. Where's the stress? It's on lab. Collaborate. And we can also use the schwa to replace the letter U. For example, support. Support. Stress is on port, so we're relaxing the first syllable. Support. So one of my students told me once, a great way to remember the schwa sound is to imagine you're having really boring sex. So you're making noises just to sound polite, like you're not bored. You want the person listening to think that you're enjoying the experience, right? So the sound you'll probably be making would be a little bit like this. Now put that on the end of a word. Teacher. Teacher. Same sound, right? So it's the boring sex sound. Maybe that will help you remember it. Anyway, that's it for today. Thank you very much for watching, guys. I'm sorry this video is short. I'm actually very sick at the moment and I didn't really have much energy, so I didn't have much time to make a long video. But I hope you found it useful and I hope you can start improving your schwa sound. Remember, you can enroll in my British pronunciation course and start improving your spoken English right now if you go to etjenglish.com. I can't wait to see you all there. Have a lovely week. I will see you next Thursday. And cheers, guys. Bye!